Alright, hey guys, always dancing here. We are looking at Elsword now. This is a game by Kill3r Combo. It's a free-to-play side-scrolling slasher game, much to the extent of something like Maplestory and let's see, Fists of Fu, I think it's called. There's a lot of these types of games, but I think this one just came out recently with open beta, I believe. There's a few points I'd like to point out about this game. There's not much content there. It's a tad repetitive. But first off, I'll just start about the basics. There's only 3 classes in the game, and each of them have names. Can't remember the names off the top of my head, but one's a ranged character with a bow. The other is like a mage, and the one I'm playing right now is a fighter, sword slash tanky person. And one downside about that is it is gender locked. The guy that I'm playing is the only boy, the rest are girls. I hate gender locked games, but you know, much with these anime inspired games, that's usually what you get. As you can see, a lot of people will look the same. I'm in the earlier levels. I think I'm only around level 10 or so. And there's not really any difference in the characters other than a few things. Or if they've found like a new item or something like that, they'll equip it as a costume. But really everyone seems the same because you do have costume slots. Costume slots which affect your appearance but not your stats. The game is very basic and it's very straightforward. It's very noob friendly. It's not open world or anything like Maplestory is. There are instances or dungeons that you go into with a party or by yourself, whichever you choose. And there's certain quests in those instances and stuff that you can do, but they're more to the line of, you know, kill X amount of this monster, kill this boss on this difficulty, etc., etc. So it's very basic, very straightforward. There is some customization in the sense that you do have a skill tree, but I'm not sure if everyone will end up having sort of the same amount of skill points they can put in, or if it's like you only get a certain amount, and by the end game, if you filled it up, then that's what that is. So at the top, I'm in a dungeon area right now, where you can look at the party list, see who has started a party. So if you're looking for a certain dungeon with a certain difficulty, you can sort of just pick it from the list. It's really easy. Or you can create your own, or you can just hit quick party and it'll automatically assign you to one. You can also change stuff like difficulty, how many players you should have, what the loot's gonna be like, if you roll, or if it's whoever picks it up first. And as you can see, there's a golden Q on the image where it says Banthus Cave. That just means that there's a quest for that dungeon that you have to accomplish. So like I said, it's very noob friendly. It really shows you what to do pretty much. The bottom right there is a experience bar, and there's something which is a stamina bar. Now I'm pretty sure the stamina bar is just like the energy used in Spiral Knights, where you only can do a certain amount of things per day, I guess. And if you use up all your stamina, then you end up, you know, just not being able to do anything for the rest of the time until the next day where you get it refilled. I think that's what that's for. You know, there's not much about this game. It's very arcadey, so there's a lot of emphasis on like combos, points, and you know, rankings. You get a rank at the end of each dungeon, like in each certain area, such as like combos and stuff like that, damage, how much damage you took. There's a handful of combos. Once you start, you'll have a sort of a guide sort of thing that'll like show you all the basics and stuff like that. But one cool thing about the tutorial, not the tutorial, but the helper tool, is that once you start attacking, it'll show a tree. Like, you use the X and Z buttons to attack. Z being like your fast attack, and X being your like heavy, slow attack. But it'll open up a tree when you hit Z or X, and it'll show which way you can go. It's hard to explain it unless you see it, but it'll say like you can do Z, X, X, or X, X, Z. It'll just show you all the different combos, so it's really easy. There's also on your skill tree window, there's a tab you can click so you can look at all the combos you have. I don't think you can unlock more combos, but you can unlock new skills. I did one before, if you saw it, sort of did like this really flashy comic book sort of pause, and then it let me attack. That's the special attacks that I have. But it's a pretty nice looking game. That is one of my specials right now. It's a pretty nice looking game, but I mean, you know, it's not, I guess, amazing. They have a cel-shaded style of graphics, along with like sort of a comic book manga type of aspect to it. As you can see in the right, it shows all the quests I have, and you'll keep track of all of them. Top right, you'll have your map. You do need to kill every monster to continue to the next area, so I mean, but the areas aren't that big, so you don't really have much of a problem finding them. At the top, it'll show your score. A, S, D, C are all your special skill slots. That's my other skill. It's my stronger one. And under my health is my mana. You can get mana by attacking, I believe. Or it regenerates automatically. My D skill is this sort of counter thing where it's a parry, so I'll have like a second and I'll block. It'll look like I'm blocking for like a second, and then if someone hits me, then I'll automatically hit them. It's a very nice skill, but it's hard to pull off, especially when you haven't fought against the monsters before and you don't know what kind of attacks they have. As you can see in the start of each area, they'll show you which part you're on of that whole dungeon. As you can see, the combat's pretty straightforward as well. There is a PvP arena and stuff like that, but I haven't had a chance to try it out. I honestly probably won't keep playing this. It's just a little bit too repetitive for my taste, but you know, it's just sort of, it's a nice thing to do. It's a nice sort of time waster. It's not too big of a file to download either. The gameplay is pretty fluid though, I'll give it that. The controls are definitely tight and they're pretty responsive. And combos are really easy to pull off as well. One thing another thing that sort of annoyed me, here's there's mini bosses and then there's an end boss. This is one of the mini bosses in the dungeon. But yeah, one thing that sort of annoyed me a bit was when you kill a monster and they drop loot, you have to wait like 1 to 2 seconds before you can actually pick it up. So if you're sort of just wanting to run through stuff but still collect loot at the same time, you won't be able to. You sort of have to kill someone, wait till all the money drops, and then pick it up. As you can see, I leave some stuff behind. As you can see, it takes a second for it to actually pick up into my inventory, but and at the end it'll show you all the stuff that you picked up and stuff like that. There's lots of customization to your weapons though, and equipment, you know, stuff like leveling it up, refining it, that sort of deal. There's a lot of emphasis on that. And as you can see, there's loot well, not loot, but health pickups that you can get along the way just in case you get injured or something like that. But I found myself not getting hurt that much. Even on like hard difficulty by myself, I've been able to clear dungeons. It's not that much of a difference. It's a very nice game though. I don't know what other games this company has made. I actually haven't checked out their site really. But I'm sure it's sort of the similar types of games. I don't even know what to talk about for 5 more minutes. This last stage I think is the boss. Yeah, this is Banthus. I think he's the main guy you're trying to kill. It's pretty easy though. As you can see, the bosses do take effects such as knockback and get knocked down. At least these guys do, the ones I fought. So it makes it really easy in fighting them, because if you have more than one person, you can sort of just pin them to a wall and just keep attacking, because you can still hit them on the ground while they're on the ground as well. So it's sort of cheap, I guess you could say, but at the same time, I'm sure more endgame types of monsters are incredibly hard to kill without the right equipment and right skill set. But I mean, it's your typical hack and slash MMO, so it's not really nothing really too innovative, I guess you could say. As you can see, I'm getting smashed on pretty hard, but I'm only still at half health. All the while, I'm really wrecking them. There, Banthus goes spawning more monsters, but really doesn't worry me. I know I can easily kill all of them. I'm just trying to get some more mana, just so I can unleash all my specials. In the bottom left, you do have an inventory, so you can equip stuff like antidotes, health potions, mana potions, stuff like that. And there we go. Dead is dead. Now they'll usually drop an item, but I've sometimes had only gold drops before. So here's the end dungeon screen. S is the highest rank you can get. I've gotten S on a lot of the stuff. It's really not too hard to get S. And then it'll show all your items you acquired, and also your total amount of experience that you got awarded in that dungeon. And then after the dungeon, it'll send you to the dungeon lounge. So after every dungeon, it'll send you to the dungeon lounge, which allows you to start the dungeon over again, or you can just exit the dungeon to go find more people. Quests, I like how they did the quest system, in the sense that it doesn't make you run around or anything, but I'm guessing that's just because it's not an open world MMO, it's more of a arcadey dungeon or dungeon scrollers type of deal. Because really, just to accept, or not just to accept quests, but to just finish them, all you have to do is open up the quest window, and it gives you the option to complete them, as you can see here. And then it'll show you a little, I wouldn't even call them cutscenes, but a little bit of dialogue from the person that you completed the quest for. There's also early on in this video, you saw me buy a bulletin board. You can accept events. They do have events in this game, and they also have repeating quests that you can do for the bulletin board. Makes things a lot easier. As you can see, I'm equipping some stuff and unequipping some stuff. I don't pay much about the story, pay much attention about the story, especially in this type of game. I'm just not interested in a story for this one. And I apologize for not being able to see anyone, but that's because when I started Fraps, it was the button to make it so everyone disappeared on their screen for lower end computers. So I apologize about that if you wanted to see everyone, how they looked and stuff, but they pretty much look the same, other than different colors sometimes and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Elsword. It's free to play. It's not a bad choice if you like brawlers and side scrollers. So definitely go check it out. Definitely check out my sponsor as well. Thanks for sponsoring my video. I'll definitely put this up on their channel as well. And I'll definitely be out with some more videos. So hope you guys enjoy this. And I'll definitely get some more free to play stuff for you guys in the future. Talk to you guys later, and have a good day.